Booyakasha! What up, what up? We are back, baby. The Yabachaba'S reaction video show. The Yabachaba'S MMA reaction video show. I don't really know the official title, right? I mean, I just been labeling it the Yabachaba'S reaction video. So, I think down the line we'll adjust that accordingly. What do you guys think about the new specs, huh? Come on, be honest. Is it not clean? All right, yes. I'm getting a lot of comparisons. Jeffrey Dahmer, that type of deal. But, honestly, I don't care. Because this is my swag. Not fucking Jeffrey Dahmer swag, all right? It's my swag. Mr.YabaChaba swag, okay? So, I had to get the new specs. I got to get the new haircut. You know, the fuck out of here, alright? But besides that, holy guacamole, what a crazy ass card. Actually, you know what? I should do this type of lighting. What a crazy ass card. I mean, wow. UFC 290, I mean, I usually start from bottom, you know, from bottom top. Usually top to bottom is what people say, but bottom, top, whatever, I don't know. From the bottom to the top, whatever. I usually start there, but yeah, I'm gonna start there. You know, I can't just, cause like the entire card just had crazy moments. You're talking about first round knockouts. You're talking just absolute domination. You're talking absolute wars. This card had everything, even like surprises. All right, and I'm going to get to that. But holy cow. So let's get into it right away. We got Esteban Ribovics versus Kamwela Kirk. I did catch the fight in the middle of the second round. I didn't get a chance to watch the entire fight. But I got to say, Esteban Ribovics, he is from the Dana White Contender Series, right? Dude, I'm telling you, that show, I fucking love the Contenders show, the Dana White's Contender Series show. I love it so much. It literally, every Tuesday, it's so fire. I can't wait. It's literally like, oh yeah, little bio, yeah, that's where they're from, blah, blah, blah. Boom, fight time. It's like a million times better than Ultimate Fighter. I love the Ultimate Fighter. Like, obviously, I watched that back in the day, right? Like, I remember when BJ Penn and Jens Pulver were coaches. That was the one I watched, like, religiously that season for sure. I watched the Rampage, Rashad Evans season for sure. Hell, if it wasn't for the first season of that, UFC would not be here, right? So you got to pay your respects, right? But, you know, Ultimate Fighter, just nobody cares about reality TV anymore. At least that type of format. You know what I mean? I don't know. So, anyways, back to this. Esteban Ribovics, from the rest of the fight that I saw, he's very well rounded. His striking always looks crisp. He always has combinations. Kamwela Kirk was obviously the more of a grappling heavy guy, and it was a close fight. It was a good fight, and I'm glad Esteban won. And it really showed that he definitely improved in the grappling. Because remember his last fight, his grappling wasn't so, you know, wasn't up to par. Like, he knew what he was doing, but he just didn't have that tenacity, right? So good on him for the win. Jesus Aguilar versus Shannon Ross. So, let's be honest. There are a couple of flyweights. They're not ranked, right? These are the kind of fights that you kind of gloss over, you know. And honestly, I was this close to, you know, hitting the power button on my phone and, you know, taking a dump or something or getting a snack, right? But I was like, nah, I gotta watch all the fights. I gotta make sure I gotta do right for all my yabbers out there. So the fight starts and then it ends. Like that, right? Bang. overhand right in the square of that melon, and Shannon Ross was out cold. So it's pretty crazy because I don't think a lot of people really understand how spectacular that is. A one-punch knockout at flyweight, that is very rare, okay? Very rare. Because usually those flyweights, they don't really carry too much power like that, like the type of one-hitter quitter powers you would see like at heavyweight or light heavyweight type of thing, you know? So it's pretty rare, but obviously, you know, timing beats speed, precision beats power, that old saying, which is true. That's basically what that was. You know, just an overhand right, landed beautifully. Shannon Ross did not expect it at all, and just got laid out cold. And you got to feel bad for Shannon Ross a little bit because, you know, he's got a rocky UFC start. His last fight ended in a KO. He flew all the way from like fucking Australia, I think, or New Zealand. Crazy long-ass flight. Put all that work into the camp, all for him to get knocked out in under 30 seconds is pretty heartbreaking, right? But then there's the thrill and the agony. Then you got the thrill of Jesus Aguilar got a crazy finish. He gets to wipe away his loss in the UFC. And you don't really know much if he's improved or not from the last fight. But you got to give it to him. He knocked the dude out under 30 seconds, so that's pretty damn good, right? So good for him. Then you got Cameron Simon, which I talked to you guys about, versus Terrence Mitchell. And, man, this Cameron Simon cat, he's good, dude. He is really good. And it was really nice to see his grappling come into fruition, right? Terrence Mitchell, right, like, he came in there obviously thinking that he's the bigger guy, because Cameron Simon looks kind of small for 135. I thought he was a flyweight this whole time. No, so Terrence Mitchell came in there, and he's trying to wrestle them, you know, trying to get good position, this and that, whatever. And you got to respect the fact that he took this on short notice, you know, a couple weeks notice, so can't blame him too much on the gas. But, you know, you can't gas in the first round. It's kind of pretty wild. But, yeah, Cameron Simon just looked phenomenally, right? He was put in a couple of bad positions, but he scrambled out of that right away. He knew exactly what to do. His placement, where his hands, his feet, his hips should be. His scrambling was really good. And his striking is always top-notch. So it was really good to see that grappling aspect of him, you know? Really great. Got the finish. So I'm really excited to see how he keeps going in the bantamweight. But bantamweight is just insane. Bantamweight is just crazy talented. Like, it's obviously the most stacked division in the UFC right now, 100%. And I want to know, can he hang with the top, like, 30? Can he, right? Can he hang with those type of guys? My gut is telling me that this dude, this Cameron Simon guy, he's going to be in the top 5. If not next year, the year after. But I'm thinking he's special. Like, I see that. I got that eye, you know, I'm telling you, that eye, the thing, you know, whatever. And I definitely see that he's something special for sure. So I'm excited to see what he's got going on for him next. And he's from South Africa, which is super cool. He's got his buddy Dricus, teammate, doing his thing. And I'm like, oh, I can't wait to talk about Dricus. So, congratulations, Cameron Simon. Then we got Vitor Petrino versus Marcin Prachnio. And Marcin, honestly, I gotta say, I don't want to say he didn't look like he wanted to be there, but man, his body language and the way he was throwing his shots all desperate and was kind of like want to engage, but he really didn't want to. It's almost like asking a man to go fight a lion, right? Like, that's what it kind of looked like to me. Like, he was just like, I need to get him out of here, but I don't want to get near him type of deal. Vitor, on the other hand, just a solid block of muscle. He's got crazy power. His technique in the striking isn't too crazy, nothing insane, but it's efficient, and it definitely gets to the target, and it definitely makes a big impact. And it kind of surprised me that he was cracking Pragnio, right? Cracking him real good, like literally the entire fight, cracking him, fucking him up real good. And then he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm about to knock you out. Let me just go ahead and dump you real quick and lay in your half guard for half the round." Like, kind of weird, but at the end he got a submission victory, so good on him. Can't wait to see what Vitor's got going on next. I remember his Contender Series fight was pretty crazy because I thought the other guy was going to win that he was fighting, and he knocked dude out cold, right? So I'm excited to see what's going on with him. That's, you got to love these perfectly orchestrated UFC cards. They always got everything in it. You got veterans in there, you got up-and-comers, you got champions, you got contenders, you got all types of things, right? That's what you got to love. I mean, it is beautifully orchestrated. You're never going to have a card that's like full of veterans. You're never going to have a card that's just full of nobodies. Sometimes, maybe a couple times you get a card filled with, nobodies. But, that's why they're cards in the first place, right? It's to show you, hey, look at who's going to be the next up-and-coming guy, right? So then we got Alonzo versus Jimmy Crute, and boy was I wrong, all right? I mean, did anybody really think Alonzo by second round sub? Anybody? No. He wrapped that choke up real tight. Wow. Yeah. I mean, what can you say? It was a pretty decent fight. Pretty, back and forth, whatever. Jimmy Crute was obviously trying to implement more of the wrestling. And then what do you know? Gets cracked a little bit. Chokey time. And good night. I really was not expecting that from Alonzo. Right? I really wasn't. I just thought Alonzo was kind of basic with his strikes, basic with everything he does. He just really relied on that power, which he really never threw a bunch of volume, but how that saying goes. And yeah, man, I was really surprised to see that second round sub, especially that guillotine was really locked in good. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say. Tough luck, Jimmy Cruz. Unlucky. But he'll get back in there, I feel like Jimmy Crute really just needs to work more on his boxing. I think his boxing is kind of lacking. His distance management's kind of lacking. He's got great grappling, for sure. He really does. But I feel like it's definitely lacking in the hands department. So congratulations, Alonzo. Then we got Denise Gomez versus Yasmin Yawarogi. That's a really weird Spanish last name. I've never seen that in my life. Warogi. Sounds kind of Japanese. Warogi. But yeah, that ended in a KO in the first round in like 40 seconds, which was fucking bonkers. I was actually with the boys at Hooters, right? And we actually had to tell them to put the fights on. Like at this point, any sports bar that you go to on a Saturday when the UFC is on should automatically have all the TVs putting on the fights. I don't understand why I have to go out of my way, I'm acting like a Karen right now, to go out of my way to notify management to turn on the TVs for the fights. No, but it's just, I just don't get it. Like, obviously, fighting, it's the most spectacular, interesting, craziest sport of all time. Hands down. It's literally the greatest sport on earth, right? And what's so funny is the moment I made them put it on the big screen TV, right away, like it was like college volleyball, it was like fucking water polo, like really? Water polo? Really? That's what we're gonna be fucking watching is fucking water polo? Really? So, once we got that lame shit off the TV, we put that real fire shit, oh my god, everybody, and I mean everybody, started, like, we only programmed, there was like a whole bunch of TVs, we only had 2 of them for us to watch. Everybody right away, looking, right away. They were like, holy shit, this is fucking awesome. And I don't know why the hell I turned that shit off. And right away, once we got that, everybody was turning their heads, and it was actually right around that time the Denise Gomez and Yasmin fight was on. And that shit ended in like under a minute too. That was a KO in under a minute. And right away I was like, oh shit, right? Everybody started looking, even before that, but still, it was cool. Everybody was like, whoa, looking at it, reacting. It was cool, right? And really about this fight, I've heard of Yasmin Warugi. Is kind of like a young up-and-comer fighter chick. I remember she had a fight with, I think, a Brazilian, because she's Mexican. And it was like a crazy fight. Dana White loved it, whatever. And then you got Denise Gomez coming in here. I really didn't know much about her. And wow, she knocked that bitch out. And that was just a nasty combination. The finish was crazy. Like, you don't really see that too often in chick fights, you know? KOs. You really don't. It doesn't happen a lot. Usually it's submissions or decisions. So that was a crazy fucking finish. And I gotta say something, alright? It is the truth, and it is Yabachaba's truth. But hear me out. Okay. I swear to you, I'm not even trying to be funny, but I swear to God, women fighters that like to lick pussy instead of the wiener, they're lesbians, have like a 10 to 20% increase in like damage. Like, they're just more powerful. I don't know why this is, but it's just true. Like, obviously you can tell Denise, I mean, I don't know, I'm not trying to judge anybody, but you know, it's safe to say she's not a girly girl, okay? She's got a shaved fucking head and tattoos everywhere, alright? Do we have to fucking, is this make-believe land? Are we pretending, John? John, are we pretending again, John? Okay, do we? Sorry, facts are facts. And hopefully this video surfaces out and people will be like, oh yeah, he was right. Like, it's scientifically proven, there's studies shown that, it's just, I don't know, it's just what I see. I really do firmly believe that chicks that are kind of more butchy, kind of like more masculine type of girls, kind of dykey, little dyke vibe to them, I feel like they just have more power. I don't know how to explain it. I really don't. Obviously, Amanda, you look at her, right? She's not a girly girl. She's more of a tomboy type of, dyke type of thing. Masculine looking ish, right? She's not the prettiest girl in the world, but she'll knock you the fuck out. This is my conclusion. So, for any bettors out there, if you're looking at 2 girls that you don't really know who's this and whatever, you might want to fall to the girl that's looking a little more butchy. So, but no, really, honestly, congrats to Denise. That was a crazy knockout on a fucking pay-per-view card. Wow, that was fire, right? Then we got the Tatsuro Taira fight. That was awesome, versus Edgar Chairez. And I gotta say, I really was dismissing this Edgar cat. I was like, whatever, who the fuck is this guy? Tatsuro's a dude, whatever. And really watching this fight, obviously Tatsuro had the bigger advantage on the ground, for sure. Right. And Edgar was really pushing the pace, trying to use his boxing. He had really good boxing. He was game, for sure. That's the thing. You can't take away that he was game. Really tested Taira. Edgar made him honest. It's a saying, right? It really did. sometimes when you get guys that are extremely talented, they don't get that heart, that grit, because everything is so easy to them because they're talented. They just smoke everybody, right? So this fight really showed the heart of Edgar too, but of Tatsuro, because he really had to not only rely on his skill, but also his grit and also his IQ to make sure, like, hey, I don't need to fall into this trap and this trap, right? Because every time that Tatsuro would go for a takedown, Edgar would wrap up the head, and that was kind of like his defense. And you could tell he has a pretty good guillotine, right? But Tatsuro was aware to that, would slip right away to side control, whatever. And yeah, I mean, bang. That was basically the whole fight, was just a grappling disadvantage from Edgar. But then, hey, at the end of the third round, Edgar wrapped up that neck, and it was looking kind of risky, looking to kind of, he wrapped that neck, but he had it in full guard and not in fucking side control or half guard type shit, right? So, yeah, I mean, that was getting pretty rocky, but Tatsuro obviously won at the end of the day. But Edgar is definitely game, and he made a new fan in me, for sure. So I'll definitely be watching his fight later on. And then, of course, Robbie Lawler. Can we get a moment of silence? Thank you for everything you have done, Robbie Lawler. The sport of mixed martial arts, I wouldn't say wouldn't be where it is today without him, but it would be a lot less fun without him ever being in there, right? Like, he's had some fucking crazy ass fucking fights. His title reign was like insane. And, his story is really crazy too. He joined the UFC at such a young age, then he got cut, went to Strikeforce, fought in other organizations. He was a middleweight for a little bit. Then he came back, in welterweight, right? Kind of like a second lung in his career almost, right? And won the fucking strap. Crazy, right? And, Robbie, that's just insane, right? So, how do you not respect that? How do you not respect a guy who has his dreams shattered at such a young age? Like, he got cut in his early 20s, I believe. Goes on to other organizations, never quit on himself, right? Had crazy fights. And then gets the second chance in the UFC and then makes it all the way to the title. Wow. Right? Like, how do you not respect that? That man is a fucking savage. He is a legend. His boxing has always been so fucking nice to watch, and how he rolls with punches and how he puts together combinations. And man, it's just beautiful to watch. It's beautiful to see a legend go out like that with a spectacular KO under a minute, didn't take any damage, right? How do you not respect that? How do you not love that? It's just incredible, right? And I really hope he stays retired and doesn't come back, because he's like, oh yeah, I fucking smoked him in under a minute, I'm going to do it again. Because that's how fighters think, really, they do. And that's why it's so common to see a lot of legends, a lot of fighters, they go out on their back. They get knocked the fuck out, they get embarrassed, they get submitted, they get dominated, whatever the case may be, and that always happens. So I really hope he stays retired. I said all these nice things, right? But I have to say something, okay? I gotta say something, because if I didn't say this one thing, I would not be the thing that I am, that I say to be. All right? Might be as being over the top, yes. But what I'm trying to say, okay? This has nothing to do with Robbie. Like, I'm not this, no. All right? I love Robbie Lawler. He's a fucking animal, a savage. He's fucking like everybody's fucking favorite fighter. That's not what I'm talking about. So the fight starts, right? It was over like in under a minute, right? There was like 4 under 1 sub-minute finishes or something that's ever been in the modern UFC history, which is crazy, right? But here's the thing, right? I'm watching the fight, And when he knocks out Nico Price, I go, wait, he's out? He's out from that? Right? And then, obviously, I rewatch it on my phone, and I watch it in slow-mo like 100 times. And I gotta say this because I speak truth on here, and I just speak from the heart what I think I see. And I swear to you, I don't want to say Nico Price took a dive. I don't want to say that at all. But I really find it hard to believe that somebody would fall down like that from punches. I mean, obviously, Robbie Lawler has knockout power. Don't get him wrong. But I just don't see how somebody falls like that from those kind of punches. I'm telling you, I really don't see it. Unless Nico Price is like extremely chinny, which I don't think he's chinny at all. If anything, he's gone through a lot of wars, which I understand kind of adds up, but I just don't see how he gets knocked out from those type of punches. And he would fall the way he fell, and I just don't get it. I really don't. Because it's like, he felt like he was out cold, right? And then the moment the fight ended, he was kind of like moving around, whatever. This is all speculation, honestly. I might be talking out of my ass, but from my gut, my overall feeling, I just genuinely feel like something's not right there. I don't want to, nothing to do with Robbie. I don't think Robbie Lawler fucking playing, hey, you go down when no. Could have done maybe something with Nico Price. Maybe. Or maybe he was just chinny. Maybe he was just really chinny to fucking get knocked out from these short type of shots, right? So, you know, it's a little sussy, okay? That's just me, right? That's just me. Like I said, you know, who knows? What's the guy's name? Derek Minner, right? The James Krause guy, the whole investigation. I 100% remember that fight. That was like the fight that he got speculated on for the whole betting thing. I remember watching that, and I was like, damn, he really got hit to the liver like that and just shelled up, and, you know, I'm like, damn, that was a quick finish, right? Thought nothing of it the first time I saw it. But then, when all these speculations and speculations came out and all this, I was like, okay, I could definitely see how somebody, allegedly, could, you know, plan to like, oh, this hurts, oh, I'm going to shell up, oh, I'm done, right? So that, I just kind of bring that into context, kind of why I kind of see this as kind of a little fishy, because I'm telling you, man, I like, Robbie, he obviously has knockout power, of course. I've watched Shane Carwin knock Frank Mir out with like the 6-inch punch. I'm not even kidding. Frank Mir was against the cage. They were kind of like in a little clinch thing, and I swear to God, I mean, obviously Shane Carwin is, if you don't know who he is, Google him. He's definitely an old school fighter. But he was just a gorilla. He was just gigantic. He was just a beast. And his hands were the size of my fucking lunchbox, okay? So I saw him knock out Frank Mir with 6-inch punches, right? Like tiny little uppercut shots, and Frank Mir flopped to the ground like a dead fish, okay? I saw that, okay? I saw Mike Perry's elbow, right? When he fucking Jake Ellenberger, right? Off the clinch. I saw that. But I find it very hard to believe from the clinch, dirty boxing. That's just me. I find it very hard to believe that the clinch, this results in somebody getting knocked out fucking cold. especially when you don't really have your hips involved, especially when it's not powerful hooks that you're using all that torque, your power, your entire, you know what I mean? Like these were, I mean, I wouldn't say that Arabi was throwing arm punches, because obviously he knows how to throw a fucking punch, but it just, from that close a distance to get knocked out cold, you know, I don't know. Maybe this needs to be on fucking X-Files or some shit. World's greatest mysteries: the Phantom Punch of Muhammad Ali and the Robbie Lawler Nico Price KO. Was it a KO? Was it a setup? Was it a conspiracy? The world may never know. Anyways. Then we got... I even wrote Sussy on my little sheet for Robbie. Hey, but honestly, Robbie Lawler, taking nothing away from him, he's a fucking savage, a legend. I hope you a beautiful retirement. You deserve everything and anything for all that you've done for this game. And wow, what a beautiful way to go out. God bless. Then we got Bo, right, versus Val Woodburn. And I gotta say, you know, I really felt like this Val Woodburn cat, even though I saw his fighting clip, or his previous fights, and I'm like, eesh, you know, his, right? His skills aren't that good. But that's kind of what's the theme here, because Bo Nickal's only got 4 fights. You put this guy who's only got a few fights as well. That's what's supposed to happen, right? You're not going to put Bo Nickal in there with fucking Robert Whittaker. It's just not going to happen. It's just stupid. So the fight starts, then it ends, right? That's kind of the theme of tonight, sort of. But really, I got to say, from those short 40 seconds, you can really tell that Bo Nickal has really improved on his striking a lot. You can tell that he knows his range and distance very well, and he adjusted to that very quick. Like when he threw that like leaping left hook, he was so far away from Woodburn that he just connected beautifully right on the chin, and so far enough that he wouldn't even be able to get countered had he have missed, right? But that's just, you know, the type of athlete that he is, that he can just adapt and learn shit so quick, and the muscle memory is going to be there. And yeah, he fucking cremated Valentine, right? Is that his full name, Valentine? Is it just Valentine? Cremated him. Me personally, I kind of would have wanted it to go a little longer, because you know, it wasn't like he was out. It wasn't like he was hurt real bad. He was very disoriented, but you can tell he was still all there. But, you know, maybe I'm just, you know, fucking like the Just Bleed guy. So, but other than that, though, Bo Nickal, what a fucking fantastic win. God bless. I think it's time to give him somebody. All right, it's time to give him somebody. Give him a vet. Give him a fucking... Who's somebody up the middleweight division I'm trying to think of? Somebody in the middleweight division... Honestly, he would be perfect for like a Uriah Hall. Hey, what about Chris Weidman? That'd be cool, right? That'd actually be a really good fight. Veteran versus up and coming prospect. Another guy, 185. I'm trying to think about. Nursultan Toktaliagbay. He's fucking 185. He's a newcomer. He's got like fucking 30 fights, so there might be a mismatch there. But hey, you're talking skill for skill. That'd be a fucking fire-ass fight. Nursultan. So, definitely plenty of options for him. Honestly, shit. You want to get fucking sexy? You want to get sexy? Khamzat fucking Chimaev, Bo fucking Nickal. Alright? Now give me my nickel for giving you that fucking matchup. All right? So then we got Dan Hooker versus Jalen Turner. That was like, holy shit. What a fucking fight. What a war. Back and forth. And I'm obviously rooting for Dan because I don't really respect anybody that misses weight. And the whole time you're flashing around, renting cars, thinking you're hot shit, and you miss weight? No. I don't think so, babe. So, Dan, I'm glad he got the split, but honestly, back and forth, what a crazy-ass fucking fight. Jalen Turner seemed to be gassing near the end of the fight, especially near the end of the second round. Oh, my God. I thought had that second round had like 10 more seconds, over. It was done. Jalen Turner wanted it out. 100%. And, I don't understand fighters. Not a lot of them do that, but, like, he got rocked real bad, Jalen Turner, and then he goes, whoa! Like, what are you doing? What are you, like, don't think about the crowd and, like, this is going to look cool when I do that. No. You're in fucking survival mode. Shoot for a takedown, clinch, something. Don't fucking woo, because after that woo, he got fucking cracked, right? Yeah, where's the fucking woo now, huh? No. So, yeah, fucking don't do that shit. I'm looking at Burger King to see if it's open. Ooh, it is open. Let me go to Burger King. Yeah. So, Dan Hooker got the split decision. I thought he won the fight for sure. I think he lost the first round. He got hurt pretty badly. He got to recover from that. Nasty cuts. But then, obviously, Dan Hooker just put on the pressure, put on the pace, took away the Jalen Turner kicks, and then he obviously just went to town, right? Throw those things at him, right? So, good job, Dan. I'm glad he's getting back on track, but honestly, I really wish that he would try to be a little bit more defensive. Maybe use more grappling. It doesn't hurt, right? You've been in a lot of wars, especially that Poirier war. The Poirier war. You gotta stay away from those as much as you can. So God bless Dan. I think he should fight like a. Dan. Who should Dan fight? Ooh. What about Dan versus Fiziev? Or we do a Dan versus Justin Gaethje. I know Justin Gaethje's fighting Dustin Poirier, but doesn't hurt. Oof. I was about to get Burger King, but now I got the Rumblies. Yeah, I said it. I said Rumblies. I can say whatever I want, right? I'm a fucking grown-ass man. If I want to say Rumblies, I can. Then we got All Hail Drickus. All Hail Drickus. Oh my God. My last video, wow. Alright? I fucking love Robert Whittaker, right? But I was just hating all of these experts. Oh, he's gonna kill him. Oh, it's a wash. Oh, is this and that. Oh, how could they even? It's a nothing, right? And I said, like I always say, it's a fucking fight, right? It's a fucking fight. You never know what's gonna fucking happen. And wow. I mean, wow. To finish Robert Whittaker, whose only loss was to Adesanya since 2014. Wow. That is mind-blowing. That is like the biggest win any middleweight contender could fucking ask for, bro. That's crazy. And this motherfucker did it. And he didn't even do it the sloppy uncle bar drunk fight style that he has. Like, he did it like a very calculated, calm way. And to me, it seemed like Drickus looks pretty fucking big for 185, right? He looks just solid, right? And it seemed like to me, I felt like Whittaker he was doing the right things, throwing his jab, this and that, darting in and out, being really fast, really elusive, throwing power shots. But I felt like Whitaker, for some reason, kind of felt like a little discouraged in there. Like, I felt like he was looking to kind of take him out of there earlier than he wanted to. Even though all the interviews he said, he's like, I'm expecting a war, this and that, da-da-da. But his body language in there, to me, seemed like he couldn't hurt Dricus at all. That's what I felt like. It felt like he was fighting Yoel Romero again. Like, this solidly built, muscular guy, just super tough, iron chin, just, you know what I mean, just won't stop coming forward. So I felt like I felt like he was a little bit discouraged because he wasn't really able to land those power shots and make him, you know, crumble a little bit, like at all, in the slightest, which Dricus did not. Dricus was getting hit with a few jabs here and there, a few kicks were thrown at him, but it was mostly blocked. And like I said, it just felt like Robert was like discouraged in there. I really did. Like something was off for sure. Like once I saw the first round how it went, I was like, okay, I can kind of see what's going on here, right? And Whitaker's good takedown, this and that, right? And what do you know? Second round, right? It was the second round. Yeah, second round. Dricus throws a stiff jab, a real stiff jab. The perfect time that Whitaker was trying to blitz in, and right away that put Whitaker just on rocky road, right? He was just out. And I don't want to say Whitaker is chinny, because he's definitely not. But to get sat down from a jab is a bit questionable. And I love Whitaker. Obviously, Yoel Romero said in an interview prior, he's like, nobody can really recover from those wars from that we had together, da-da-da. Just true. I mean, you know, Romero was definitely the one landing the more damaging shots in both fights. And especially the second fight, Romero almost knocked him out like 5 times. It was fucking crazy how Whitaker survived that and won, right? So it just felt like to me Dricus imposed his will, threw body kicks real well, timed the perfectly stiff jab that wobbled Whitaker right when he was darting in, because that's one of the disadvantages of having that darting in karate type of style, is that you can really get hurt coming in because you're not stationary, your feet are not planted, your head is taking most of the strike, the brunt of the strike. So it's tough luck for Whitaker, you know, and you know, he's been wobbled by like Jared Cannonier. I remember he got wobbled in that. He got dropped by Darren Till. So he's been dropped in his fights for sure. But the thing is, with Dricus, he wobbled him real bad, but just didn't let go. Like, he was just bang, pounced on that right away. Whitaker was not able to recover, and boom, you got yourself a #1 contender, my friend. And then Izzy came in this cage all drunk as shit. Even though I found a new respect for Izzy when he knocked out Pereira, you don't act like that, man. What are you doing? And this, and bomb that. Like, what are you doing, man? Really? What are you trying to do? He said, you do the 36 and me, the 26 and me, you know where I'm from. Fucking slurring his words and shit. Like, who would let this drunk in there? If I was Dricus, first of all, he handled that beautifully, by the way. He said, I'm a brother of yours, but he's like, oh my God, I'm gonna butcher this. I can't believe it. The hardest line of like all night. Oh yeah, we're from the same place, but I'm no brother of yours or some shit, right? Goes hard as fuck. Then he just walks away from the clown because he's just a clown. It's just very cringe and embarrassing. But he can fight his ass off, so it's just kind of like a weird mix, right? Like, how are you so cringy and just a clown and very just lame, but you can fight your fucking ass off? It's just weird. Mixed emotions. So, yeah, honestly, if I was Dricus, I would have been like, no, get off my stage. No, I don't want you in here. This is my moment, right? That's what I would have done. Like, yeah, fuck off. Don't interview him, Joe. It's me. It's my show. I did this. I had the biggest win in my career. I'm not going to let this asshole take it away from me, right? No, but, you know, it was good to see them face off at least. That was cool. You know, got all these fans talking all this shit, what's going to happen. But really, Dricus really surprised me in this fight. He really did. Dude, I did not expect him to be so composed. His kicks, the body kick was really good. And he looks like his movement doesn't look that crispy, doesn't look sexy. But fuck, does it get it done? It gets it done, man. And he's a fucking unit in there. He's a big boy for 185. He is. He's solid. So good for him. God bless him. South Africa's on the rise. It's so cool to see all these countries fucking fighting. It's so dope. And I really hope he knocks out Israel. Even though I think Israel's cool as a fighter. He's like one of the greatest fighters, middleweights of all time. He's up there for sure. Nobody beats Anderson. Don't get it twisted. Anderson's my goat. But you gotta give it to Israel. He's been dominating the division. So to see Dricus do that to Robert Whittaker, who's been like insane, right? Definitely got to give it to him. Sorry, I just got to park. What the fuck this bozo's doing, following me and shit. So, yeah, got to give it to him. And I'm really excited to see Dricus versus Adesanya. I'm really excited because the thing is with Adesanya, real quick, it's like when he fought Jared Cannonier, when he fights Marvin Vettori, when he fought Whittaker to a certain extent, like the second fight, it's like they all play his game. Sort of like the Sean Strickland thing where it's like, you know the game that Sean Strickland's doing. You know the game Israel Adesanya is doing. Adesanya. But you just, like, they just fall into like this like hypnosis. There we go. Hypnosis. Where it's like they're going move for move. They're going kick for kick. Hey, he throws a kick, I throw a kick. You got to break out of that mold and just go for the attack. Break the tempo, break the flow, make him fight your type of fight. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of people just kind of fall under that Izzy spell or the Sean Strickland spell, and you know what I mean? They're not fighting their game or imposing their will, right? So I think Dricus will be able to break that spell because he is he's a problem, man. He's got crazy power. He was composed against Whittaker and knew his game plan right away. Shit, man. He's gonna come forward no matter what. He's a tough SOB. And he's got that dog in him. He really does. So congratulations, Dricus. Brandon Moreno, Pantoja. God, I can go all night about this, but really, long story short, I felt like Moreno won this fight if you're going off the new judging criteria, which is off of damage. It seemed to me, beside the Pantoja first round knockdown for Moreno, I don't really see where else he won this fight based off of damage, right? Obviously, they were scrapping. It was back and forth. They were punching each other back and forth. But you can't tell me that Moreno did not throw the more efficient strikes, that he wasn't throwing those jabs like crazy, popping his head back, slicing him up with elbows, throwing right hands that were wobbling Pantoja on multiple occasions. And then, obviously, when he would get wobbled, he would get hurt. Pantoja would close for the takedown and either get him down in full guard or take his back for a little bit. But really, these are just grappling positions that really did not execute damage. Okay? Was it a close fight? Yes. But in terms of the new judging criteria, my boy, Brandon Moreno, should have fucking won that fight. I'm sorry, we did way more damage. Especially round by round. First round, Pantoja, sure, knockdown, I get it. Second round, Moreno came back like a bat out of hell. Third round, the jab galore. Fourth round, Pantoja took the back for most of the round, I believe. Then fifth round, you got Moreno throwing jabs like crazy, outstriking him, this and that. And then Pantoja just grabs his back. And that was the end of the round. So, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. I feel like these judges just judge whatever the fuck they want, whatever they're feeling like. So, who knows? We'll see what happens. I feel like you could do a rematch. You could do Pantoja versus Amir Albazi. There's a lot of options at flyweight. And I'm really happy that flyweight's getting a lot of shine because they deserve it. Because flyweight, they're fucking crazy. So, hey, at the end of the day, either or, it was a close fight. I felt like Moreno won, but good on you, Pantoja. You got your dream come true, and it's a big deal. God bless. Volk. Wow. Right? Previous video, I was like, I don't know, I'm feeling my gut. Yair could get a KO, head kick. Max Holloway did it. I was feeling worried for Volk. And even Volk admitted, he's like, I trained my ass off for this one because this guy is fucking dangerous, right? So, holy crap. I mean, Volk never stops to amaze me, right? And I've been watching Volk since he fought Darren Elkins. I remember when he fought that fight. And I remember watching Volk, I was like, damn, this guy's good, man. He's fucking well-rounded. He just beat the dog shit out of fucking Darren Elkins, right? And then I remember he fought that fight. Then he fought Chad Mendez. And he on the little podcast thing, he was like, yeah, it's Battle of the Midgets, ha ha ha. And right away I was like, this dude's awesome. He's got a great sense of humor. He's funny. He's a fucking scrapper. He's very well rounded. I knew right away this guy was special, right? And then he knocked out Chad Mendez, which was insane. He got dropped real bad in that fight too. And then, man, when he fought Max Holloway, I was thinking that he's going to win against Max Holloway, and he did. So, yeah, I've been watching Volk for a long time. I've been watching Yair for a long time. And I got to say, man, Volk really just dominated Yair. And I know, like, in the first round, they were kind of feeling each other out, this and that. But really, Volk did an amazing job switching stances, not giving Yair those kicks, getting the takedown. And I don't know what happened. Like, I felt like Yair had a lot better wrestling than that. I was really surprised to see Volk just manhandle him like that so easily, just taking him down at will. I thought Yair would have a lot better wrestling defense, but I guess not. His guard really wasn't there either. I felt like Volk, really, what's the word I'm looking for? Volk really nullified that. And really, it was just a beatdown. Yair had a few good shots and stung him with the right hand, I think, once, and Volk was like, oh shit, gotta grab him. And then Yair got caught. He was throwing one of his kicks. Volk threw a right hand, clipped him right in the chin. Had Yair hurt real bad. Right, Yair was hurt real bad. And to me, from what I saw, Volk throwing the combinations, took him down, raining shots, and Yair was like, I'm not going to beat this guy. Take me out of here. And that's what happened, so that's what happened. He got hurt real bad, and he's like, I don't want to be here anymore. He quit. That's exactly what happened. And good on Volk for making him quit, because that's what you're supposed to do, right? But you got to think, like, come on, man. You can't go out like that. You got a whole country behind you. Moreno would never do that. Fuck no, he wouldn't. He'd rather die than let that shit happen. And that's just one of those things that you just can't teach, is this. Right here. What's in here? You can't teach that. Right? You're either born with it, or you've gone through some shit in your life that makes you, got that, right? So, kind of disappointed to see Yair kind of quit like that. But, on the other hand, Volk looked like an absolute fucking animal. Oh my God. He's just a fucking animal. What do you do to stop this guy besides Islam? If you told me, hey, you need to pick somebody to fucking destroy Volk that's around his weight class, I'm picking my only chance would be like Islam. Like, who the fuck else? Who else? Maybe Charles? Maybe Dustin Poirier? Maybe Arman Sarukian? But I don't see no 145er taking him down. Topuria, he's got he's good, but I don't know. Volk is he's an animal. Holy shit. So, wow. To wrap it up, this card out of 10 is like a 9.5. Like, this shit was off the chain. I had the boys over at my house. We were eating fucking gummy worms, fucking Lifesaver, whatever they're called. Having a blast. drinking sody pops, playing blackjack. It was just phenomenal. Honestly, one day I want to be able to like live stream like what we're doing, just hanging out, watching the fights. I think that'd be so much fun. But anywho, these fights were fucking phenomenal. I really appreciate everybody that watches. I hope I broke it down well and gave it to you guys the way you like it, raw dog style. Anyways, I love you guys. Can't wait for the next video, which is going to be Holly Holm, aka versus Bueno Silva. But until then, peace out, and I love you.